Right. Well, I do have 1 o'clock and I see LaDawn has already started the recording, so I think we can go ahead and get started. So first of all, welcome to today's session. I am standing in for Dr. Martine Howard, who's here with us virtually. I know we're all virtual anyway, but we're going to do like a double virtual where she's got a recording that she's sharing, and we're going to pause and have some dialogue, and I'll lead those discussions along the way and afterwards. The entire recording is only a half hour, so we'll be pausing at a couple of different points. Dr. Martine Howard is one of our graduates from our doctoral program, and she's not unfortunately, she's fortunately traveling today and not able to join us live. So I'm going to go ahead and start the recording, and if you have any trouble hearing it or anything, just let me know right away so I can problem solve. But LaDonna and I just did a practice session and it all worked out well, so let's hope, fingers crossed, that it works again.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to share with you the implementation of a 15 to Finish campaign that I did at my institution last year for the Community College Leadership Program, and what I needed for the implementation to be successful, meaning all the partnerships that were involved with it. So at the end of this session, as a participant, you will be able to identify partnerships that benefit the launch of a communication campaign, also explain the importance of those partnerships, and then apply the recommendations provided. So strong partnerships are critical to improving student success when implementing a 15 to Finish communication campaign. And for the dissertation program evaluation at NJCU, I implemented the 15 to Finish campaign during spring and summer of 2021 and evaluated its success in the fall. So what is a 15 to Finish campaign and why did I implement it? So the on-time completion crisis in the community college system is really alarming. Only 5% of students graduate in 2 years, according to Complete College America. And many community college students are low income and racially and ethnically minoritized, and their graduation rates are even lower. So community colleges around the country have begun to implement intervention strategies to improve on-time graduation and close attainment gaps. And one of the most successful interventions implemented across the country has been a 15 to Finish campaign. It's a campus-wide effort aimed to increase the number of college students taking 15 credits per semester. It was therefore that I decided to evaluate the success of a 15 to Finish campaign at my institution, Camden County College. I successfully improved full-time students to take 15 credits over 12 credits from 24.2% before the implementation to 37.5% after it. And that is a 13.5% increase in students taking 15 credits. Okay, think about this. You are asked to launch a communication campaign at your institution to increase enrollment. And the goal would be to make students aware of the benefits in graduating on time. Who on campus or what office come to your mind that you would contact and start working with? I'll just give you 30 seconds to think about it, and then you will see the ones.
So I'm going to just pause for a second and ask for you to either put in the chat, or you can, it's a small enough crowd, you can certainly unmute if you'd like to discuss. I'm just going to stop sharing for a minute. Who might you get involved in a 15 to Finish campaign? So I see the advising center is definitely an important part of it for sure. Can't live without them. No doubt about that. Financial aid, yes, absolutely. Good, Jennifer. Anyone have any other ideas about who else you might want to partner with? Faculty is always a good idea, especially if they're specific to the pathways that you're looking at. The academic departments, communications, PR, career services. So you'll see there's a lot of areas that really need to get involved in the 15 to Finish campaign. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to sharing my screen, and we'll let Martine pick up here.
Okay, before I go over my list, let me share findings that indicate a successful 15 to Finish campaign. They include maintaining a high level of institutional commitment and effective leadership, making the case with data, very important, reaching all key stakeholders, including students and their support system, providing professional development to internal stakeholders, sending clear messages, which will be to the students and their families, providing incentives, and also engaging in continuous improvement efforts. So for all these, one needs great partnerships. My findings for creating a successful campaign also align with the first 4 stages of Kader's 8-stage change process. Kader's first 4 stages are establishing a sense of urgency, creating the guiding coalition, developing a vision and strategy, and communicating the change vision. So as a community college leader advocating for students taking 15 college credits per semester to finish on time, working relationships with numerous individuals and offices is essential. And these are our institutional leaders, senior administrators who can offer the support, then the advisement center, the advisors who are in direct contact with the students, the communication department, which creates and distributes the messages, and the institutional research office, which provides data that tell the story. Kader mentioned change is only effective when high-quality leadership drives it. It is therefore vital to have senior administration entirely on board during the entire process. Our campus leaders are supporters and enablers to make the campaign visible on campus. So I recommend contacting the college presidents, senior administrators, deans, and directors at all campuses of the institution and establishing a sense of urgency to change student credit enrollment behavior by implementing a 15 to finish communications campaign. The administrators are the college professionals who control the campus resources needed to promote the campaign. Now, numerous states in our country formed an alliance through Complete College America and demonstrated strong leadership starting from the governor's office to implement game changers in all institutions, including the 15 to Finish campaign. Now, other institutions' leaders have also illustrated urgency to drive change. One of the presidents of a community college showed the campaign's importance by holding a signing day on campus, indicating to the community that they were committed to launching a 15 to Finish campaign. When a person is a grassroots leader, meaning someone who does not have a position of authority at the college, like me, I'm a faculty member and chair of a department, it is critical to create a network and support system to bring forward the change and therefore gain buy-in from as many college professionals as feasible. Kader alluded to this stage as creating the guiding coalition, wherein a person forms a group with other college professionals who can work together in leading change. So I created an implementation task force of administrators who were enthusiastic about the campaign on campus and could assist in disseminating the 15 to Finish messages. I also made sure I had a diverse group of individuals from the urban and suburban campuses. And then the implementation task force was instrumental for me in advocating the program on both campuses. These were individuals who helped communicate the change the task force envisioned for student enrollment behavior. And this stage is Kader's change process, and in this change process refers to using every vehicle possible to constantly communicate the new vision and strategies. So the 2 academic deans and the director of advisement supported the college professionals through 3 professional development training sessions by offering their monthly or weekly meeting time slots to me. Although data from institutions around the country are significant to share, I really recommend other college professionals that they contact the college's Office of Institutional Research for the enrollment data that include disaggregated data from their institution. Now, at the end of the training, I shared a guide with the college professionals I created with the assistance from the Complete College America resources, because they have wonderful resources, And also the Complete College America commonly asked questions from college professionals to consult when encouraging students to take 15 credits per semester. And then thanks to this task force, I was also invited to present the purpose of the campaign at other departments' monthly meetings. And I gave workshops on the 15 to finish benefits during a monthly teaching and learning event as well. And then additional invitations to present broadened the number of college professionals who were given information on benefits for students to take 15 credits per semester. So the task force really helped me in disseminating the 15 to finish messages. As I mentioned before, making the case with data to partners is really critical. Data are the sources of information to understand the problem, identify interventions, and then drive the innovation needed to obtain student success. So institutional commitment to access, collect, analyze, and communicate data associated with the campaign to stakeholders is essential. Now, Complete College America cautions in their Scaling Standard report that data collection on its own does not drive change, right? The change comes when college professionals interact and internalize the data, draw their own conclusions, and take action. When the University of Hawaii system noticed low graduation rates, they examined their data and discussed how they could create a culture change based on student success data. Data showed students taking 15 credits per semester did better in their courses and completed their degrees on time. By disaggregating the data, they observed there were no disparities between subgroups. Now, students who took 30 credits in a year and completed a degree were students from all levels of academic preparedness and socioeconomic status, first-generation students, and racially and ethnically minoritized students. So collecting and disaggregating data by various student subgroups is vital to evaluating educational equity outcomes. One of the vice presidents at Complete College America stated, disaggregated data are important to analyze as they give a voice to the students who have been underserved by higher education. So data must drive any decision that is made. Now, a fundamental step for implementing for the implementation team on campus is to work with data professionals to first identify the data and then identify the right audience with whom to communicate the data. So the Indiana Commission for Higher Education produced data sheets on 15 to finish for advisors that told the story of their campus. For example, the Ivy Tech Community College campus, they produced a data sheet showing how many students were taking 12 to 15 credits per semester and how grades improved when students actually took 15 or more credits and how likely the students who took 15 or more credits were to complete college. So data can inspire faculty, staff, and administrators to take action and get involved in the 15 to finish campaign efforts. However, institutions need to go beyond creating a sense of urgency for action and provide paths of action. So the implementation team must introduce a plan of action that offers details of the campaign's implementation to the institution's stakeholders. And now, after evaluating the 15 to finish campaign at Complete College America, I have data that I can share with college professionals at my institution that demonstrates the importance of sharing the benefits with the students to take 15 credits per semester for on-time graduation, because data tell the story, right? So I will share that with you when I go over my results a little bit later. Just on this page here, some data I shared at that time because I didn't really have much data from my institution. I shared some data that CCRC offered to the left, where momentum students, that are students who take 15 credits or more, do a lot better if you see here attaining a degree versus students who just take 12 credits per semester. And then also the average GPA based on credits attempted at a two-year institution, something that Complete College America has posted, which is also a higher GPA. And then that students, every time they add another additional year, they actually lose 150,000 in their lifetime because of pension and other expenses that they have. And then the next step was to get the communication and marketing professionals on campus committed to the campaign and understand the vision. They did not use most of the free open source materials available on the Complete College America website, as I had thought maybe I had anticipated, but the materials from the Complete College America provided the professionals at my institution with models used to create the college materials that fit the college's branding. Practitioners implementing a 15 to Finish campaign must be open to suggestions from communication and marketing professionals, because their job is to promote the institution's brand and provide materials for other institutional campaigns. So the 15 to Finish campaign must integrate into the institution's overall communications and marketing strategy. The college practitioners who wish to implement the 15 to Finish campaign could discuss the messages they want to get across to students with the Director of Communications and Marketing, working together on a timeline for when messaging via website, posters, flyers, and social media need to happen is also critical. The Communications and Marketing Department are part of the team that helps you create a vision in the change effort. So weekly communications through Zoom, through an email or Zoom with the communication department will keep everyone informed and on task. Communicating a message through branding that is clear and easily understandable is very important. Again, according to one of the vice presidents at Complete College America, with whom I had some discussions, all parties must answer the same question, right? What does the institution mean by 15 to Finish? To effectively communicate the message. The original 15 to Finish campaign, the University of Hawaii system pioneered, did not literally mean a student had to take 15 credits per semester. So the University of Hawaii system implied the message was to get students to graduate on time. And this on-time graduation could also be accomplished by taking 4 semesters of 12 credits, for example, and 6 credits for 2 summers. So again, you need to communicate that within your institution on how you are going to show your 15 to Finish campaign, how you're presenting it. The institution needs to have a communication strategy in place, and the messages need to be tailored to motivate different stakeholders, and data should be presented in the form of persuasive visualization. Now, there's a college, Bishop State Community College in Alabama. They used infographics posted on classroom doors and on their website and on social media. The communications office assisted them by advertising 15 to Finish messages on their website. And this office also created infographics and a tag in the footer of emails and posted numerous quotes from students tailored to the stakeholders. So this is something I would like to continue. I would like to do as well at Camden County College as we move on. Now that we had like our first year of a 15 to Finish implementation, we can add more ways of getting the messages across. Ongoing communication with the Director of Advisement is another crucial element that allows the campaign to stay on target. Advisors are the staff members on campus who are immediately connected with students, identifying academic options, and providing the students with resources and information. So disclosing data to advisors is important to ensure student success is speeding up and not slowing down enrollment in academic courses. Now, the Advisement Center at Camden County College added 15 to Finish flyers, and actually still doing that, that I created on the benefits of taking 15 credits per semester into a folder the high school students receive when they visit the school for advisement. So advisement professionals then also during the campaign incorporated a slide of the reasons to take 15 credits in their online group advisement sessions during late spring and summer. I also mentioned incentives. Yeah, incentives are a great way to promote the 15 to finish strategy, and partnerships for this with institutional senior leaders are therefore very important in order to offer motivational and financial incentives to increase the number of students taking 15 credits. That is not something I had in my campaign, but numerous 15 to finish campaigns that are very successful in the country have these kind of incentives. There are institutions that offer flat tuition as an incentive for students to take more than 12 credits. That is something that really, again, you have to have a great partnership with the institutional leaders for that. For motivational incentives, one might partner with a bookstore. University of Hawaii system incentivized students who enrolled in 30 credits their first year with a yearly drawing to receive free textbooks. So partnering with student affairs can aid in helping motivational incentives. I've read about other institutions that organize a day in the semester where students sign the pledge of taking 15 credits for the next semester, and then were offered free pizza, had a picture taken with the mascot, and I know I have hot dogs here, but you can also offer hot dogs, right? Okay, I'm going to pause here for a moment in case there are any remarks on the partnerships for this 15 to finish campaign.
Okay, so let me just pause for a second, stop sharing. Does anyone have any questions or comments at this point in terms of the kinds of partnerships before Martine moves into her data?
I have a question.
Sure.
How do we work it out with the students who say, I have to work, I can't afford it, because they're used to that routine?
Yeah, it's, this is a challenge. I know Martine ran into, I was her advisor for the dissertation, so I know pretty closely about what she had done. And actually it was not just students, but also advisors and faculty and, folks, perceiving it to be that their lives were too complex and they couldn't fit it in. So, I don't think that Martine or anyone is going to suggest that this is a one size fits all for every student. And there are definitely students that 15 credits are not going to fit into their lives. But what the focus really is that when you walk into a four-year university, the default is 15 credits, right? And then you alter, it if needed based on the case by case. And I think, what Martine was trying to do, and she did advising training, faculty training, leadership training, really emphasizing why the 15 to finish was so important, and debunking some of the myths that it won't work for many students. So sometimes students need to have that extra push, and they may not believe in their ability to do the 15 given their other real world responsibilities on their plate. But sometimes the busier students are sometimes the most productive ones. So I think it's all about having a real conversation with the students that you're working with, but maybe the default being 15. If you want to, this is called, you've probably heard community colleges referred to as a 2-year school. Well, it's only a 2-year school if you do 30 credits each year, which would be 15 and 15. Or for those who can't pull that off, it could be 12, 12, and 6 in the summer, right? So there are different ways to get to that 30, 30 that can really get them to the finish line in 2 years, but helping them see the advantages of that. Sometimes students may not realize the losses that they're going to experience in terms of wage differential and all, if it takes them longer, well, what difference does it make if it takes me an extra year? Well, there's a lot of financial differences there, because in addition to paying for the tuition, you have lost wages at a potentially higher salary. So I don't know if that answers your question, Alyssa, but I think that's the challenge, is to just try not to make it the default, but then have real conversations with your students. And if they can't do it, we certainly, one of the things we do well in community college sector is try to individualize our services. And we don't try to do a one size fits all. But I think that in a large scale way, we often just don't, we sometimes just under challenge, students. So I don't know if that helps or not, but I'll let you either respond or anybody else. Okay, thanks, Alyssa. Anybody else want to jump in before I have Martine go back to sharing her data? All right, I'm going to go back to Martina, and we should have some time at the end also after you get to see her data. So let's go back over here and we'll finish up from here. Wait till you see this data. It's really cool. I know she gave you kind of a highlight of the differential and the percentage from the beginning, but it's really
Due
amazing.
to the great partnerships, I had the following results. I informed college professionals on the benefits of taking 15 credits. So I successfully conducted the program evaluation research of a 15 to finish campaign by measuring the effectiveness of informing college professionals who advise students, including first-time college students, on the benefits of taking 15 credits per semester. College professionals acknowledged the training session they received on the importance and benefits of students taking 15 credits each semester. As I said, it was helpful, and they were more likely to encourage students to take 15 credits in a semester. Now, college professionals also indicated all the academic and financial benefits that presented to them at the training and that they were very important. Numerous benefits resonated with them, as prior to the training they had been unaware of certain benefits, and so they were surprised by the data I presented. As you notice here, 88% of the college professionals somewhat strongly agreed that training helped understand the importance of students taking 15 credits per semester, and 91% of college professionals stated that training helped them understand the importance of having a conversation with students in their first semester on the consequences of taking fewer than 15 credits in a semester. I also informed students on the benefits of taking 15 credits, and my findings revealed that students accessed the campaign messages on the 15 to finish benefits through social media, posters, flyers, the college's website, and advisors. And advisors encouraged students to register for 15 credits, and that the students were aware of the importance of taking 15 credits per semester to graduate on time. So students also considered graduating on time the message that resonated the most with them. As you see here, 83% of them understood that 15 college credits per semester are needed to graduate on time, and 77% saw and received the messages, almost 58% on the website, 45% of the students received it from advisors, almost 45% saw it on posters or flyers, and a little over 34% saw it on social media. I provided data to the college demonstrating that the campaign increased students taking 15 credits as full-time students. We had an increase in enrollment. So I looked at the proportion of students enrolled in 15 or more credits of the full-time first-time degree-seeking students. And as you can see, I combined 2019 and 2020. And then after the intervention was 2021. I also compared just 2019 with 2021. As 2020, with the pandemic, really the data is totally not very correct in the fact that students weren't taking in class, everything was online. So I'm looking right now, I'll just share you the 2019 versus the 2021, even though both had an increase, went from 24.2% to 37.7%, which is a 13.5% increase of students taking 15 credits after the intervention. I provided data to the college demonstrating that the campaign increased students taking 15 credits by race and ethnicity. So disaggregated data on student demographics that I received from the Office of Institutional Research provided information on students' race, ethnicity, and you will see in a minute also the Pell Grant eligibility and enrollment behavior for 2019, 2020, and 2021. So an analytical test focused on each race and ethnic group separately. And the test showed that all groups of students saw and heard the 15 to finish messages. The percentage of students taking 15 credits or more in each race and ethnic group increased versus fall 2019, so prior of the intervention. As you can see, for Black students, it went up almost 7%. For Hispanic students, it went up almost 13%. And for the white students, it went up about almost a little over 9%. And then I also provided data to the college demonstrating that the campaign increased students taking 15 credits for our Pell Grant eligible students. As you can see here, the proportion of Pell-funded students enrolled in 15 or more credits of the full-time, first-time degree-seeking students in 2019 was 20% versus 32.3% in 2021. So that is over a 12% increase. So I provided the college with equity results and economic benefits. As I have just mentioned, there was an increase in 15 credits across race, ethnicity, and Pell-funded students, and many of them had a statistical significance. Then the implementation of the 15 to Finish campaign provided the institution with economic benefits as students that were enrolling in 15 credits rather than 12 credits, and therefore brought in more college revenue. As you can see at the end, the revenue on investment was 329%. The college gained a tuition revenue of almost $17,000, and the cost per first-time degree seeking students was just $3.70. As the program cost was a little less than $4,000, which actually I included as if I had been paid as a director for it, which I was not. So it was actually, the program cost was actually less. But if you want to implement it, this would be a good price to show. So if we have some time, I'd love to hear some comments on the results using the many partnerships for a 15 to Finish campaign.
All right, I'll pause again to see if you have any comments or questions.
I have a question regarding the data that she shared. There was a lot about how many students enrolled in the courses for 15 credits. Is that how many students actually earned the 15 credits, or did we see anything where they, a lot of students felt like it maybe was too much and dropped?
So yeah, this is an excellent question, Jennifer. And in Martine's study, we wanted her to get to the finish line and be able to graduate. So we didn't hold her to getting the credits earned at the end. So she collected her data with enrollment data. But I know she's interested in her institution's interested in looking at that data to see whether or not their actual success. I don't believe that she, I don't think she has that as of yet. But I can tell you that based on her literature review, and she's got a really robust literature review, and her dissertation is available open access in ProQuest. So I think she's going to talk about how you get there, but if not, I can certainly navigate you to it. There's a lot of data that shows that students do end up earning those credits also. So they actually finish earlier and they complete more credits if they register for the 15 credits. So not in her specific study, but yes, in her, learning about it and researching this area. Any other questions? I'm going to let her finish it off. She's almost done, and then we'll have a couple more minutes at the end to discuss.
So here are the several recommendations that I have on implementing a 15 to Finish campaign using numerous partnerships. First of all, obtain the support of institutional leaders. Talk to your senior leaders and show urgency for this campaign. Then create a task force of champions for the implementation, because they're the ones who can really disseminate the information, get the messages across as well, and contact other departments at your institution. And very important is to develop this close contact with the communication and marketing department. They are the ones that will also help you get it out there and make sure that it's been seen and heard. And then engage in continuous communication with the advisement office. As I mentioned, they're the ones that see the students, that talk to the students, so they are very important as well. So, and then I also added show visibility in all campuses. You know, go and talk to people, let them know what you're doing, have posters put there so that they will, or give them posters and they will give it to other departments. So making sure that you're there really, really helps the campaign. Well, thank you everyone for attending this presentation. If you want to contact me, send me any questions or comments, I think the best way is my email, mhoward@camdencc.edu. If you are interested in my dissertation, which is launching a 15 to finish campaign, a program evaluation, my dissertation is on ProQuest, open access. So please go and look at it, read it. And again, if you want to send me some comments, I'll be happy to hear, listen to them, and contact you with any responses. Thank you very much.
Okay. So I see one question, Arminda. Let's see. I may have missed it, but how popular was it that students chose to increase the number of credits, take 15 instead of 12 to 14? If you want, I'll pull up, hang on one second. I'll just pull up that slide. So just want to make sure I get it right. See. The number of students should be on this slide, I think. So overall, the number of students taking 15 credits increased from 2019 to 2021. I don't think I have in front of me the number of students who are doing the 12 credits versus the 15, but the number of students who did the 15 increased from 24% to 37% across the 2-year spectrum. Yeah, obviously there was no 15 to finish campaign in 2019, and there was. So the main takeaway of this was that if you tell students it's a good idea, they're much more likely to do it. And all students were more likely to do it, especially Hispanic students and white students had the biggest, had significant gains there. So I'll go ahead and stop sharing again and see if that answered your question. So feel free to unmute and jump in with a question, or certainly jump into the chat. I think the key, right, Arminda, is that they chose to put school first. And I'm not sure it was always first, but I think it was a prioritized more. And honestly, I think some of it had to do with the people giving the messages also. So I think that matters. And I know at Martine's school, it was a revenue generator because her school is a per credit, but I know some institutions have flat rates. So some students can pay the same whether they're taking 12, 15, or 18 credits. So there really is no financial risk in those situations of taking more credits. In fact, I have a niece who I'm incredibly proud of, who ended up taking advantage of the flat rate. Finances is a significant issue for her. And at first her institution was like, well, I'm not sure you should take 18. And she's like, but I can for free. Why won't you let me try? And they did. And she actually did well, very well, in fact. So, and graduated early because of that feature with a lot less debt. So that was really, very, very important. Others, questions, comments? Is anyone implementing a 15 to finish campaign right now on their campus or thinking about it? I'll take that as a no. Well, I hope that this changes your mind a bit and maybe you can bring it back. Okay, off and on. All right, I see that definitely. You know, I mean, sometimes it's hard to, you know, things kind of come and go, but not a true campus-wide push. So, you know, I got to tell you, Martine, they had nothing on their campus related to this, and she went in and she did all the partnerships and made this all happen in a very short amount of time. So really amazing what one individual can do. So I do want to empower all of you to go out there and be that individual on your campus. And, you know, again, if you need the data, you can certainly look up Martine. She shared her email with you. If you need it, you can, you know, certainly reach out to us also. And, you know, anything we can do to support you if you're trying to move forward on this, we'd love to do. So, yes, I mean, a very good point that it's across the board, the Pell eligible funds, you know, so really debunks a lot of the myths out there that students can't. They can. You need to push them to. And then, of course, be respectful of their life if it doesn't seem to work out for them. I don't think it works for every student, but there's many students who are just doing what we're telling them to do. And many of us are telling them to take 12. They're like, okay. You know, remember, coming from high school, they're taking a lot more than 4 classes, you know, so hopefully, you know, sometimes senior year is a little bit of a lighter one, but overall, it often is a little bit more than that. So, all right. Well, if that's, I'll stick around if anyone has any questions. I know, LaDawn, you're going to put a session survey in the link if you don't mind taking a minute to just fill that out. It really, there's like 2 or 3 questions. I know our team would appreciate the feedback. So if you don't mind doing the survey before you head out, and then we will look forward to seeing you all at networking and other sessions today, the closing session as well. And if you want to join us for the information session at the very end of the day, we'll be delighted to chat with you there too. All right. Thanks everybody for coming. Appreciate your time.